So you see the column behind me? This column was made in England. It was made in the UK and it was brought here in the 19th century, 1862 I think. Interesting, yeah? And this is Gare du Nord, Paris. We've arrived to Soissons and frankly it's really cold today. When I was booking the tickets it was 19 degrees, but now we've had a very cold weekend, so we're freezing and it's windy.
For the first time I'm wearing a hat.
Yes. Oh, that's a nice bijou. Look at that. Anyway, we're trying to find the city, we're trying to find what to see now. We're gonna see it now. So behind me is the Abbey of Saint-Jean-des-Vignes, and it was one of the richest abbeys in the area. However, after the French Revolution, and closer to 1805 actually, the building was dismantled with the goal of building other cathedrals and using the materials for other things. However, the locals protested so much that the facade was kept, thankfully. The facade now became an iconic feature of the city, and behind me as well, where Sinan is walking around, is the arcade, which we're gonna go and see right now. So we were asked to leave not because we're terrible or anything, but because they're closing for lunch until 2 o'clock. So we're gonna go. It's 12 o'clock now. We're gonna go and check out the cathedral, and then we have something to see as well, and then we'll come back again. So far this town is like very residential. There's not much going on. I don't see any restaurants or anything of this sort.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Today's Saturday and no one is on the street. It feels like solid this Sunday here.
Yeah, it does actually, you're right. So we just had the most amazing experience at the cathedral. We were there and we were just looking at the things, you know, and then I saw that there were all the statues and crosses, they were all covered. So I thought, you know what, let's ask, because the thing is, in Orthodox, because I'm Orthodox, I'm not Catholic, so I don't know some of the traditions of Catholics. I saw this man, I asked him, I was like, why do you guys have it like that? And he said, before the Easter, they cover all the statues because, you know, Jesus died, right? It's a gesture of grief, and that's why it was covered. And then we went around, we were just looking at things, and then this same man comes up to me and he was like, do you want a free tour? And we were like, sure. So this man just spent an hour with us, almost an hour, right?
I think it's more than an hour.
And he explained to us everything about this cathedral. Yeah. He explained to us everything from the recent issues where the rosace, like this one on top, this one collapsed a few years ago and they finished it in 5 years. It collapsed because of the wind. The wind just basically shoved it into the building.
I can imagine it's so windy here.
It's so windy in the city. Yes. And we're not on the mountain. I don't understand why the city is so windy. You'll probably hear it in the microphone anyway.
Yeah.
And then what he explained to us so many things.
Yeah, and also the left wing is higher than the right wing. It's because they started building the right one first. So of course you can see the difference, and also it's different in height.
Initially they planned to redo the other side again, but they couldn't. This cathedral was just right after the Long Cathedral, which you can see in our previous episode. Some of the colored glass, it dates to 13th century. It's incredible. And yeah, so without telling you too much about it, if you come here you need to go and visit this, and there is an incredible man sitting in there. He will, I don't know, he may be nice to you, he may not be nice to you, but to us he was so nice, and he gave us a tour. Nice. He's so nice. Yeah. And yeah. So where were we now?
Saint-Médard.
We were in Abbaye Saint-Médard.
Yeah.
Abbaye Saint-Médard. We just finished the guided tour.
Took us almost 1.5 hours.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Sinan doesn't think it was fun, but I think it was fun. We went to a crypt of the Abbaye Saint-Médard.
It was so cold, and today is windy, and I'm freezing at the moment.
So basically, the visit takes you about an hour. You go to you get an introduction of the Abbey, how it used to look, because now it doesn't exist anymore. There are just remaining buildings nearby, because it had a lot of destruction, and the history is really long. It's like several centuries.
Yeah.
Basically, you go first, you get the history of the place, then you go to the actual crypt, which has been recently lit up. It looks really cool. You see the old chapels of the lower part of the Église.
And during Clovis, Soissons became the capital of France for 200 years.
Yeah.
And that's why this town became so important for everyone.
If you come here, it's definitely a cool place to visit. You will learn a lot about earlier years of French history, earlier times, just after the Romans. It's really, really worth a visit, and it's really worth learning. The guide, obviously, he spoke in French, but I saw on his tag he had Czech and
I'm sure he speaks
English, and there was German, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They speak different languages
he was
if you
holding
need.
a stick from Germany.
Yes, a cane. Yes. So now we're gonna go and try to get back to Abbaye Saint quoi? What was that name?
I don't know.
Saint-Jean-des-Vignes, I think that was the name. We're going back to that. The one that we came for the first time, it was closed.
Oh yeah.
The reason why we're going back there is because we want to see the inside. There is a building right next door, and apparently what this guide has said, that one of the towers, the south tower, the shorter one, is kind of a little bit being risky in terms of they really need to start repairing it. Obviously it's still standing, and there will be works for the next 10 years repairing the whole facade, and that's great news.
Yeah.
This is the remaining building that is still there. So the facade is behind this wall, those two huge towers, and this hallway, or this hall, was part of the monastery, where I love how my voice echoes. It's so cool. Imagine having an event in here, something like nice, beautiful. It's just stunning, like a fashion show. Fashion show would be amazing from here, right? Amazing. It would be fantastic here. Look at that. Going this way, that way, models walking this way. I wonder if anyone has done this already. You can just put 2 lines and then guests on the sides, 2 rows here, 2 rows there, and that's it.
4 lines for the guests, and the models can walk.
Love it. And now we're gonna go outside to show you the colonnade where we got earlier kicked out from because she was closing for lunch.
So thanks for joining us in another episode. It was very wonderful today. We didn't expect this much, but thanks to our guides, it felt more interesting and it was much more fun with them. If you would like to show more of these videos, please don't forget to like, share and comment below. And you can also buy us a coffee if you
below,
want.
we have the link. If you would like to support what we do, a coffee is always welcome. And
until next week,
au revoir.
au revoir.